Hypothetical simulated performance results have certain limitations, unlike an actual performance record. Simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have over or undercompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representations being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Well, there's the splits. We had a move out of the middle, would have been there, so we were within one tick of it. 16 to 20 is definitely resistance. We're at 12 right now. I'd like to sell 15s to 19s, but we started out with 11s to 15s, sell 1. 19 to 23, sell 2. On the buy side, I think I had 5 to 9, buy 1. I don't have to guess. Let me look at it. 1 to 5, buy 1. And I'm going to put a question mark at 9 because we got buyer 7 to 9 right now, and then 25, 29, buy 2. ISM services, news focus 58.8. Hong Kong and Japan's and the ES are all down a little. China was up a little. UK, EU markets were up. The economic news out of the EU. UK was soft once again. So we've got mixed news out there. ISM services can stir or shake the markets, no doubt about that. But we have Friday's non-farm payroll numbers, and those tend to hold the market in trading ranges. So a little higher, a little lower, moving sideways this week into Friday's numbers is the way that I see it. Okay, looking at the 30-year, 20 to 24 is 1. Sell 27 to 31, sell 1. 3 to 7, sell 2. I think it takes selling in the Emini today, take treasuries higher. 8 to 12, number 1. 1 to 5, buy 1. 25, 29, buy 2. Playing for trading range, down bias as we start out. Again, it will be dependent upon what the E-mini does. Gold. Okay, right up here in this, if we look at the Asian session, when Asia starts, and you should split it out, but usually Asia follows the United States lead, and so on Friday we had up, Globex trades up, Asia trades up, but right here in this congestion area, and you need to print this chart, we've got a B. We've got to move out of the middle, and so that should at least get us back to the high volume number if the theory holds, and so far we've made that. So right now 25s, 27s, sell 1. 28 to 30, sell 2. On the buy side, 19 to 21, buy 1. And I'm going to put a question mark right here at 24. But I think we're headed lower. And then 15 to 17 for buy 2. Well, March Madness is about on us. It's a fun period even for people that don't watch basketball like me, because there's so much rides on just one game, and anybody can get hot, or power team can get cold and lose their slot. So it always makes for a very, very interesting tourney. And then I guess all the conference championships are this week. Then it'll get started in earnest after next weekend. Okay, here's the euro, top of the trading range. So we've got a seller at 23.50. 1, 2, 3, 4 examples of that. So we're in a trading range. And right now we've had a buyer in the 22.75 area. So this morning, the buck, 290 buy 1. Make 65 to 75 buy 2. I mean, you can just see right here where we're picking up where support is on the sell side. 23.25 to 35 sell 1. 45 to 55 sell 2. Big week for news. Non-farm payroll news on Friday will be the biggest. This will be a huge, that'll be the second biggest news days this month. The FOMC meeting in March, with the market playing for an interest rate increase, will be the biggest news day of this month, I believe. Crude oil. Things are heating up with Turkey and Syria. It doesn't really affect the flow of oil, or it hasn't. Everybody's worried about America becoming the swing producer, which we will not do. In fact, they think 60% of the new oil brought online in the next 5 years is projected to come out of the Americas, Canada, and the U.S. So right now, supply is taking the market lower, or fears of supply, as it should. That's what you would expect out of the market. So right here we got a pretty clean break in the market in the 61.75, 62. We have rejected, not in a big way, but we have rejected prices below 60.25. So we've got a 61.50 plus and maybe a 60 minus market as it stands right now. If I go to the longest line of letters and left click, got a B behind me. I've got another B right here. You can see how these high volume numbers attract. That pulled us down here, and then we have this high volume number down here at 60.75. So we'll make our first buy 75 to the buck, and then 60.25, 60 even for buy 2. And on the sell side, we'll make 50 to 75, sell 1. 62, 62.25, sell 2. And looking at the Emini, let's go back and take a look at the big picture stuff. Looks like maybe a buyer at 26.50 right now, and perhaps a seller at 27. There was rumors and talk that the Fed has raised their put with that late rally that we had on Friday. We talked about it. I had guessed that the market was going to close at 75. I said there were possibilities of a short squeeze, and we got it, and we got up to, I think it was our number 4 resistance point, which was at 95, that clean break, which we'll see. So right now we've got a trading range that says non-farm payroll week is upon us, to me. This morning's ISM services could move the market. So you can see right here, 90 to 95. This was our 4th resistance point, and we talked about that in that last wrap up, that 95, we'd identified those single prints right there. And whether it was a Fed foot or not, I don't know. In my world, I would call it a short squeeze. Friday afternoon, had a P behind us, you know, pressures on the shorts, and they had to pay up to get out if they didn't want to stay short over the weekend. So right now in London, we've got buying. Start of the Globex, we had selling that took us all the way down to Paris and Frankfurt time, and then the market starts back up in London. So what I'd like to sell against the buck, and we got to get through 90 first. So 89 to 94, sell 1. 99 to 04, sell 2. On the buy side, 76 to 71, buy 1. 61, 66, buy 2. I'm playing for a trading range. If we put all of this together, leaning P, so we got a pretty good chance of getting a trade off in the 90 to 94 area as it stands right now. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to do that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.